Welcome to the 6 launch pillars, and this pillar 6, sales systems. Okay, so you've got your offer, you've got proof, and you've even got some customers, but you're not making as much money as you'd want. What's going on? This is where most people get stuck, including me. I was stuck here for months. And so the problem isn't making sales, it's making enough sales to continue to grow the business and pay yourself. So we need a sales system that has scalability and repeatability. So let's start with scalability. So when you start out, you are reaching out to people you know and you're asking them if they know anyone who will benefit from your product. This is what I call advertising to test, and it is the fastest way to get your first customers. So you should definitely do that. The problem is you either run out of people that you know, or they're not sending you new people quick enough to keep growing your business at the rate that you want. And this is where we need to move from advertising to test to advertising to sell. We're still advertising, we just do it in different ways. So instead of reaching out to people that we know, we do one of three things. We either post content, run paid ads, or do cold outreach. And the reason that works is because each of those methods lets people who don't know us yet find out that we have something to offer them, right? And so that's how you break through the limit of your current sales. But we know that scaling is just one of the two parts of a sales system. So let's talk about the second part, repeatability. So the reason repeatability is important is because it's no good if you make 10 sales this week and 1 sale next week. That's going to drive you crazy and is probably going to make you want to quit just from the sheer stress. And so that's where repeatability comes in. We want to turn sales into a simple numbers game where you put a certain amount in and you get a certain amount out. For example, we want to be in a situation where if we send 500 outreach messages, we almost always make 10 sales. So that's how we can stop our sales fluctuating week to week, month to month. As a side note, repeatability also helps you scale, because if you know that your 500 messages equals 10 sales more often than not, it's very easy to then work backwards to get to 20 sales. You just double the amount of messages you send, 1,000. And the only way to build a repeatable sales system is to map out every part of the process from first contact to a closed deal, the point where you make the sale. And this is often called a funnel. So here's how to do it. First, open a simple spreadsheet and make a table. Then look back at your last couple of weeks of advertising and sales data. What you want to do is you want to track how many people entered one stage and then made it to the next stage. If you sent 500 cold outreach messages, can you put a number on how many people opened those messages? Can you put a number on how many people replied to those messages? From the people that replied, how many were you able to book a call with? From the people that booked a call, how many of them showed up for the call? From the people that showed up, how many of them actually bought your thing? And breaking it down in that way. So for paid ads on social media, it would be how many people saw your thing, so how many impressions did you get? How many people clicked on it? How many went to the landing page? And then from the landing page, how many people took the next action, whether that was opting in for you to give them a call, being added to your email list, giving you a call, whatever that next step is, and then all the way through to the point where you get someone to buy your thing. For making content, how many views did you get, or accounts that you reached? From those accounts reached, how many people went to your profile, clicked on the link, etc., etc. Once you have the number of people at each stage, then you want to work out the conversion rate at each stage. And all you do is you say, okay, how many people are at this stage? Divide that by how many people were in the previous stage. So if you had 10 people that responded to your emails, but only 5 of them booked calls, you would do 5 divided by 10, and that would give you 0.5. Press the percent button, 50%. Once you have your conversion rates, the next step is just to compare it to industry averages for your type of business. What you're looking for is whether you are really below the average. That's it. If you are close enough to that average or even above average, what that tells you is that that part of your funnel isn't an issue. Maybe for your type of business, the average response rate from cold emails is 5%. And your response rate is 1%, then you would know that the issue is the email that you're writing isn't getting enough people to respond. And so that would be what you work on to fix the bottlenecks of your sales system. And I just want to add some context for you. Changing these numbers can have a huge impact on your business. So in the example I just gave, if you go from 1% response to 5% response and you change nothing else, you just get 5 times as many people to open your emails, you will probably make 5 times as many sales at the end of it. So every change or improvement that you make in the funnel flows down to the next stage of the funnel. So it's really worth doing this if you're not making as many sales as you'd like. What if you've got all your conversion data, you've looked at all the numbers, and you're at industry average or even above? What's the issue there? So good news, the answer there is actually very simple. Your systems and processes are working very well, you're just not putting enough flow through the entire system. So this is the problem of not doing enough advertising, needing to have more volume coming through the top of the funnel. And so the question that you need to answer is, how can I do 10 times more advertising than I'm doing now? And every solution either comes down to spending more time, spending more money, or spending both. So once you do that, growth stops feeling random. And so now you know how to build your own sales system or find where things are breaking in your current system and how to fix them.